Welcome to Friday's Creating Sacred Space. And so today, as we will do every Friday, is how can you create a sense of sanctuary in your home? And so today I'm at my dining room table, and all the things that I have on my table are things that I've had found around the house that might give a sense of creating a sanctuary space in your house. Because part of why we go to church is that we literally enter a threshold. We leave the world behind so that we might enter into the sanctuary where we feel God's presence. But we know that God's presence is not just in a sanctuary, but God's presence can be felt wherever we are, including our homes, and especially the next few weeks as we have worship together, that creating a sense of sacredness in your home will not only provide you a sense of sanctuary for Sunday mornings, but in the midst of all the turmoil and the chaos and the anxiety, having a sacred space at home might also help your prayer life, help you meditate, help you have some kind of calm. And so I am going to introduce you to a few things that I think might be helpful for you as you build your sanctuary space. And each week, I'll feature something else new or in a different place that you might add to your sense of sacred in the midst of the ordinary. So on my table, what do you see here? Well, first we have some candles. And the candles, we light our candles on Sunday morning as Christ candles, right? And they're Christ candles because they remind us of Jesus' presence. And so whatever kind of candles you have, they don't have to look like these white ones, a taper or a pillar. They can be any. It can be a jar candle that you have that smells really wonderful. Whatever it is good for you, pick out a candle, but it helps you to set the tone. Like the Christ candle, be reminded of Christ's presence among you. In the center of my table, I have a bowl full of water. And the bowl of water is a way for us to remember our baptisms, to remember that we have been claimed by God. Fill a simple bowl, maybe something like this or something else at home. And as you come for worship, maybe even dabble into the water, mark your foreheads to be reminded of your baptism and your claim by God. And so that's a good helpful hint. I have a little cross here. Actually, Cammie made this cross a while back. You may even make a cross of twigs or of sticks or something else you may have. You might put that on your table. The other thing I have is some helpful things. Maybe you don't have a runner like I have at my table, but if you have some scarves. I looked all over and I thought that I'd have more purple because we are in Lent. Maybe you want to put a purple scarf on your table or on your coffee table, and as a way to set the tone and give you a sense of space. So a simple scarf. This one is from the Dollar Tree, from something we had in our house. You may even choose to perhaps use a placemat and that you might have, and you can use that and create a smaller sense of a sacred space. And again, this could be at your nightstand or any other place that you want to create a sacred space. Now, one of the reasons why we wanted to do these creating sacred space ideas on Friday is particularly to help you get ready for celebrating communion. The session of Samson Mills Church decided that while we are apart, that we are going to continue to celebrate communion. In fact, we don't usually do that weekly. We only do it monthly. But while we're apart, we decided that in order to increase and to encourage and to strengthen our community bonds, that we are going to celebrate communion every week. Now, how are you going to do that at home, right? So here's something I'm going to tell you. In the Presbyterian Church, the Book of Order, our government book, it tells us that we can use anything common to the community. When we have served, my family and I have served in Belize for a time for mission trips, we would often celebrate communion with graham crackers and apple juice. I have one funny story to tell you about communion. A few years ago, I was on a youth retreat with many different churches, and it was my job as one of the pastors going to bring the elements. So I got my grape juice and I got my big loaf of bread ready to serve communion, and I put it in our cabin in a cabinet so that it would not be disturbed. And then when I went that Sunday, after 2 days being in the retreat, I go to retrieve my elements, and lo and behold, they're gone. Later on, while we were having breakfast, a couple of other teenage girls from a different church snuck over toward me and said, Pastor Jessica, we have to tell you something. We were hungry last night and we ate the communion elements. Oh my gosh, what were we going to do? So the camp supplied for us Wonder Bread and grape Kool-Aid. And so we had that for our elements. So I want to tell you, if you have donut holes, use donut holes. If you've got a really beautiful loaf of bread, maybe from Patty's, use that loaf of bread. If you've got grape juice, use grape juice. Or here, what I have is literally grape Kool-Aid. And because I didn't have any grape juice. You can also use wine if that's something you would want to do. But grab a cup, have your pitcher of whatever your cup that you'll be celebrating, and whatever bread. I have some little rolls. Those are an option. Crackers, just simple slice of bread. Whatever you have that is common to your table and your community. And after I administer the sacrament on the live stream, go ahead and share that around the table and celebrate communion. Remembering that the table from Samson Mills will reach all the way to your door too. And so we will celebrate that common table until we can come again. And I can't wait to taste that feast when we're all celebrating in our sanctuary together and breaking bread and sharing cup. But in the meantime, I hope some of my suggestions about how to create a sacred space may be really helpful for you. Oh, one more thing, really important. Make sure you have your Bible, maybe a journal to use. And we'll be sending the bulletin out tomorrow that will help you guide you through the entire worship service. Well, I look forward to seeing you on Sunday at 10:30 on our YouTube channel. Take care and blessings.